I want us to listen to this.
There is an organisation that calls itself the International Association of Genocide Scholars, and they have today issued a statement claiming Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Of course, they wouldn't know what's going on in Gaza. No doubt they base their claims on information pushed out of Gaza by Hamas and repeated endlessly by the media and the United Nations. Let me give you a recent example of this. Here's our own ABC News on the weekend.
More than 240 Palestinians working in the media have been killed since October 2023, according to Gaza's health authorities.
Gaza's health authorities? In other words, Hamas. They relay information that comes from Hamas, the same organisation that kidnaps, tortures, rapes, murders, and then defiles the corpses of men, women and children. The same organisation still holding hostages. And the ABC quotes their claims as fact. Just sickening, sure, but obviously misleading. Obviously, you cannot trust a single word that Hamas says. Anyway, based on this sort of misinformation, this mob of genocide scholars reckons Israel is committing genocide in Gaza now. And the ABC, yes, your taxes at work again, the ABC reports this prominently. It even led radio bulletins today, the daily diatribe against Israel, the daily demonisation of Israel, and the daily repetition of talking points from Hamas propaganda units as recited by so-called Gazan authorities or the UN. I keep coming back to the simple, undeniable fact that the only reason anyone is alive in Gaza now is because Israel has been ensuring water, food, medical supplies and power has gone into Gaza over the past 23 months. That's just the reality. And it puts the lie to all the slurs about genocide and deliberate starvation and targeting civilians. Look, if the situation is anywhere near as bad as these bodies claim, why doesn't Egypt just open its border with Gaza? It could let aid in and Palestinians out. But it does nothing of the kind, of course. No, it's better to demonise Israel with ridiculous claims of genocide made by an Islamist terrorist organisation in Hamas that is openly committed to, you guessed it, genocide of the Jewish population of Israel. If the anti-Israeli narrative run by the UN and the media was not so putrid, it would be hilarious for its absurdity. Anyway, we got a good insight last night on Sharri Markson's program when she spoke to Australian actor and social media influencer Nate Buzolik, who had just returned from visiting a Gazan aid distribution centre.
No one reached out to me. No one gave me permission. I've been chasing down GHF and different organizations to try and see it with my own eyes, understanding how committed the Palestinian narrative is about starvation. So what I saw was the exact opposite.
Yeah, we keep being told about starvation, even accusations of deliberate starvation. Here's more of what Nate saw.
What I did see and the conversations I had with people were the absolute opposite of what the world is trying to present, particularly Hamas, about this starvation crisis. I saw healthy people. I didn't see anyone who was emaciated. These people were not starving. The people I spoke to were not starving. And, you know, I spoke to one woman. Obviously, I wasn't allowed to film these people from risk of what Hamas could potentially do to them. But during my conversation with her, I asked her a simple question. I said, what is the source of your suffering here in Gaza? Now, I didn't want to lead her into the answer of Hamas. I wanted to answer it for herself.
That's a good
and the
question.
answer she gave me was shocking. She said, it's the men. She didn't say Hamas. She just said, it's the men. The men in Gaza take everything, and we, as the women, get absolutely nothing.
Nate is a committed Christian and a strong advocate for Israel. He is honest and upfront about his perspective, and he's since posted this vision from the aid centre.
So what you're seeing behind me is women lining up. You know, this is not easy. It's not easy for them to have to come to a distribution site to collect aid. My heart breaks for the children that I have seen today and the obvious situation that they find themselves in. But it reminds me of what Hamas has done to these people. Hello, I'm good. How are you? You come every day? Twice? Can you tell me a little bit about the situation that you've been experiencing here in Gaza over the last 22 months?
You want the truth?
Yes, of course, please.
Men always take everything,
The men take everything.
and we are the victims.
The women are the victims in Gaza.
Yeah, Nate there in Gaza, good on him for getting in there. Most of the information that most of the public is being fed is coming from journalists and activists who pretend to be objective but are actually antagonistic towards Israel and sympathetic to what they think is the Palestinian cause. Sadly, they have no comprehension of Hamas and the Islamist extremism that's the reality of this war. In the grotesque world of Hamas and death cult of Islamist extremism, the deaths of Palestinians are worthwhile if they help to demonise Israel and weaken support for Israel across the world. Much of the media and many politicians help out in this demonisation process. The truth will win out. Reality will be exposed eventually. And all strength to Nate Buzolich for doing his best to get it out there soon.
According to Sky News, they want to tell us that anyone who says that there's starvation in Gaza is Hamas. And that's what I've reported. That the world has reported there's genocide according to information published by Hamas. You know, my question is very simple. Is UNRWA or UN Hamas? You know, Sky News need to be a bit credible. And the person they invited as a guest commentary is Netbaz, someone who has been clearly biased and has been supporting Israel no matter what. And this is a person who has received from Maccabee Foundation, money from Maccabee Foundation and other pro-Israel groups. This is a person who has gone for sponsored trips in Israel as an influencer for Israel government. This is the person who is clearly, you can tell if you are truly honest, try to push a narrative that is based on information and facts and not biased. You cannot invite someone who is clearly very biased to say or to support that there is a claim that there is no genocide and whoever published this is biased and is getting information from Hamas. My question is very simple. We can only rely on Hamas as a government that was elected by Palestinians. And if this is a problem now, then let us ask ourselves, have we allowed international journalists to go there independent, not to be working alongside the IDF, no, to be independently work and report about Gaza? It is a very good intention to show that this was a plan, that we should not allow any independent journalists to be in Gaza, so that now we can discredit anyone or any journalist from Gaza as a Hamas operative or a Hamas insider. And this is what's happening today. And I don't understand this Sky News, because this is a Sky News that told us today that Greta, just because she joined a flotilla that going to take aid in Gaza, is a terrorist. And you can tell from the commentary that these people are dishonest and they are very biased. This is not a media house. I don't even want to call them Sky News Israel, because they are acting like one while pretending to be Sky News Australia. What do you feel about this Sky News? Because I feel like they are acting like a blogger. They lack credibility as an independent media, which reports so much negativity and so much bullshit. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section.